بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصليه رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Avengers Endgame. That's yes, it's out. It's a craze. Everyone's into it. It's been 12 years in the making, and people are so emotionally invested in this film, and they are so keen to know what's going to be the end. What's the surprise? Shall I tell you the ending?
Yeah.
They all die. They all die. Don't worry about it. But this is not real. This is fake. This is not real. This is fake. This is a fantasy world. So this week's khutbah is called Avengers versus Messengers. Avengers versus Messengers. These are fake people that they want you to aspire to look to for guidance. We don't need these. Our Rasools, our messengers are our true superheroes. Before Iron Man, the one that is made of metal, there was Dawood alayhi salam. And with Dawood alayhi salam is mentioned that when he would have metal in his hand, it would become soft, malleable, and he could bend and mold metal into whatever shape and requirements he needed. Before Superman, he could fly everywhere and everything else. There was Sulaiman alayhi salam. It's mentioned Sulaiman alayhi salam, Allah gave him a miracle that he would command the winds and the winds will carry him. And he would be on a large carpet, is mentioned, or a surface. And the winds will carry him all around the world, wherever he wanted, and he would command the wind and it would carry him. Before Ant-Man, he expands to a large size, a little ant. There was Adam alayhi salam. It's mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him 60 foot tall. And about Adam alayhi salam is mentioned that Allah made him himself with his hands. It doesn't mean literally hands. It means Allah is affiliating his creation with Allah himself. That's why Allah commanded all of the angels and all of the jinn and even Iblis bow down to Adam, because he was the big man, 60 foot tall, Adam alayhi salam. Before Wolverine, X-Men, he can cure himself when he gets hurt and injured. There was Isa alayhi salam. Allah gave him the power to do 3 things. Number 1, he could heal the blind. With hands over a blind person's face, Allah would restore his eyesight, a miracle of Isa alayhi salam. A leper, a person with a terrible skin disease that they still don't know the cure for, he would pass his hand over his body and then that person would become cured. And if that's not good enough, he would go to the grave, make dua, and he would tell a person from the grave, rise, and that dead person will come alive. Dead person will come alive. Isa alayhi salam's miracles. Before Aquaman, he could speak to the animals of the sea. There was Sulaiman again, and he was given the power to speak to all of the creatures of the earth. And in fact, it's mentioned in one story, the Aquaman wasn't just Sulaiman wasn't just talking to the large animals. He was walking and he heard the conversation of the ant, the Namal. And the ant said, guys, spread out. Sulaiman is coming with his army and he might by mistake trample on us. So let's get out of the way. This made Sulaiman alayhi salam smile, and he was careful as he was trotting with his army not to kill the ants as well. So this is the power that Allah gave Sulaiman to communicate with the animals. Before Thor, with the hammer, there was Musa alayhi salam. And when he was escaping with the Israelites away from Fir'aun, is mentioned when he came to the sea, the Red Sea, he took his staff, asa is called a staff, and he struck it with the name of Allah like this, and the sea split. And it split in such a way that what happens to ground when it's been saturated with water? It becomes muddy, wet. The sea split in such a way that there was one large wall of water of body on the one side, one on the other, and the ground was completely dry. Completely dry. Allah even took the water out. When this happened when Musa alayhi salam used his staff and he split the sea, and Allah split it to save him and the Israelites from Fir'aun. But these are the great prophets of Allah. Surely the greatest of our prophets, the greatest, should be the greatest superhero as well, no? Surely our Rasul, if he's the leader of the prophets, he is the greatest of all the prophets, then he should have the most miraculous superpowers as well. Thanos he's desperate. He desperately wants the infinity gauntlet. If he doesn't get it, his powers are nothing. He is in need of the infinity gauntlet, and then he can have the power of the cosmos and the planets and the stars and the entire universe. All Rasulullah needs to do is point his finger to the moon, do this, and Rasulullah has got control of the moon and the planets as well. Mentions about once Ali was in his lap, he was sleeping, and Salah time was going for Asr, and the sun was starting to set. Ali got up and he started crying. Rasulullah said, what's the matter? He goes, Ya Rasulullah, I haven't been able to pray Asr because the Prophet was sleeping in his lap. Mentioned the Prophet pointed his finger and he went like this, and the sun came back. And then he said to Ali, go and pray. No need for no infinity gauntlet, just the finger of Rasulullah is enough. It's mentioned Aquaman needs to be in water and he needs to get back to a water source because he's part marine life. And so he needs water to be able to access his powers. Rasulullah was near a well, it was running out, he mixed some of his saliva in the well, put it in wherever the cup was available, and because of the blessings of his saliva, water was springing from all 10 of his fingers. It narrates Sahaba at that time were in the desert, 1,500 Sahaba, 1,500 Sahaba drank and did wudu with the water that was springing out from the fingers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Storm from the X-Men, she can control storm and the weather and worldly things of this earth. Rasulullah, the stones used to say salam. Once it's mentioned the Prophet ﷺ was in a wooded area and he commanded and he said to the he looked at the tree and pointed with his finger and said this. Sahaba narrate, we saw the tree, its roots come out and the tree levitated and came near the Prophet. It came near the Prophet. The sun and the moon, these are the miracles of Rasulullah, control of earthly things. Professor X, he needs cerebro to communicate telepathically, that machine that he puts on his bald head. He needs that to be able to communicate with everyone telepathically. It's mentioned in one battle was taking place. It was a battle of Mu'tah. Mu'tah is a quite distance away from Makkah. You can't get there within 1 or 2 days journey. Rasulullah was in Medina. One of the people, when the Sahaba were in the battle, one of the Sahaba, his name was Jafar bin one-to-one telepathy with Allah showing him exactly what's happened. We don't need Avengers. We don't need superheroes made up in films. We have real life heroes that we aspire to. In summary, all of our prophets are super. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.